My dear children, board examination is just around the corner. But before that, this year you have given a special opportunity to write revision exams only from the first four chapters. You will be writing your revision exam 1 during the month of January. You might be thinking that you have much to read and very less time. You might be under enormous stress and pressure. So, I would like to give some tips to prepare for your examinations well. Preparing for an exam can be very stressful at times when we have to study a lot but restricted time period only is available. Few children have a proper study plan and they study better and faster. But without a study plan, you might end up taking lot of time but studying only very less. So here are a few tips to prepare well for your exams. First of all, you have to create a study plan. That is, before sitting down to pick up your book, first you have to create a study plan. So what do you mean by a study plan? You have to list down the name of the subjects, the topics that you have to study, and sort out the priorities of studying each subject. Chart out number of days before the exam and assign to each subject strategically. What do you mean by that? Some subjects might be very difficult for you, so you have to allot more number of days to study that particular subject. So you have to have a proper study plan. Without the plan, you will end up working for long hours but studying a very minimal portion. Then you have to organize the study place. You have to choose a specific place in your house where you have ample space to keep your textbooks, your notebooks, and whatever material is needed for you to study. So you select a particular place. The space with least distraction are the most appropriate space for quality studying. You must not sit near a TV or in a place where you have guests all the time. So try to choose a place where nobody disturbs you. Sometimes it might be difficult for you to choose a place like that in your house, but try to avoid guests or switching on the TV in your homes. Then you have to take regular breaks. Your brain cannot function for a very long time. Human brain functions the best when it gets breaks periodically. So you cannot be overworking. You need regular breaks to rest. So what you can do, you can take a break and go for a brief walk, or you can close your eyes or look away in distance to rest the eyes and mind. You can close your eyes and sit for some time so that you can relax for some time. At the same time, you have to follow a healthy diet. You should have a very good food habit, which will result in better health and it gives you more energy. Avoid eating unhealthy foods like fryams, the Lay's chips packets. Okay, please avoid all these things. You can have plenty of water, good vegetables. Okay, so all this will improve your health. Drinking plenty of water will keep you hydrated. It will keep your body hydrated. Hydrated. Then you can consume nuts or yogurts and plenty of raw vegetables and fruits, which will improve your concentration and memory power. Then you should maintain a proper sleep routine. A good sleep of 8 hours is recommended by healthy experts. Some people may prefer to study late at night. Some may prefer early in the morning. So check which time of the day suits best, schedule and maintain a proper sleep routine. Okay? Then you have to read entirely and make brief notes. You read the entire textbook, and if possible, you can make brief notes. Then you can go through the previous year's exam question papers. ஸோ இதுக்கு முன்னால் என்னென்ன எக்ஸாம்ஸ் இதுக்கு முன்னால் நடந்திருக்கோ அந்த எக்ஸாம் கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸை நீங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். தென் யூ ஹாவ் டு ரிவைஸ் again and again. Whenever you learn something, try to write it down immediately. Then you can revise the same question and answers again and again for better memory power. So these are some of the tips which I wanted to give you before starting to revise chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this year you are very lucky to have a reduced content as your syllabus. So we will be having our first revision starting from January 19th, and economics will be the last revision exam that you'll be writing. So for the first revision, the portions are chapters 1, 2, 3 and 4. Already I have given you the list of questions in the classroom, the list of questions from the reduced content. So the same thing I am presenting it as a video for better clarification and understanding. So first we have the 2-mark questions. So I think you all know the examination question paper. We have 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks and 5 marks. So under 2 marks, we have a list of 21 questions. The first one is define macroeconomics. This is found on chapter 1. Define macroeconomics. Then the next question is, what do you mean by capitalism? These 2 questions are from the first chapter. Third question, circular flow of income. You have to define the circular flow of income. This is also from the first chapter. Then these 2 questions are from chapter 2. Write the formula for calculating GNP and define GDP deflator. So from chapter 1, you have 3 questions, and from chapter 2, you have 2 questions. Then from chapter 3, you have a list of 7 questions. Define full employment. What is the main feature of rural unemployment? Give short note on frictional unemployment. Give reasons for labor retrenchment at present situation. List out the assumptions of Say's law. What is effective demand? What are the components of aggregate supply? What is consumption function? So all these questions are from chapter 3. You have a list of 7 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So from this question, from 13th question, you find it on chapter 4. What is consumption function? What do you mean by propensity to consume? Define average propensity to consume, that is APC. Define marginal propensity to consume, MPC. What do you mean by propensity to save? Define average propensity to save. Define marginal propensity to save, that is MPS. Define multiplier. Define accelerator. So you have a set of 9 questions from chapter 4. Okay, so under 2 marks, we have 3 questions from chapter 1, 2 questions from chapter 2. Then you have a list of 7 questions from chapter 3. Then you have a list of 9 questions from chapter 4. So how many questions do you have? 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 7, 12. Then 12 plus 9, you have 21 questions. So you have just 21 questions to revise for your first revision exam. Isn't it very easy, girls? We have already seen these questions several times. I've given you the answers in the class and I've made you write the answers also in your classwork. Next, we have the 3-mark questions. So from chapter 1, we have 7 3 marks questions. So all the 3 marks question found in the chapter 3 is under the reduced content only. We are dealing only with the book back questions. So the first 7 questions state the importance of macroeconomics, describe the different types of economic systems, outline the major merits of capitalism, indicate the demerits of socialism, enumerate the features of mixed economy, distinguish between capitalism and globalism, briefly explain the two-sector circular flow model. So all these questions, 7 questions, are from chapter 1. Then from chapter 2, we have only 3 questions. Write a short note on per capita income, give short note on expenditure method. What is the solution to the problem of double counting in the estimation of national income? So from chapter 2, we have only 3 3-mark questions. Now, under chapter 3, we have 5 3-mark questions. Write the following in short about seasonal unemployment, frictional unemployment, and educated unemployment. So these are the types of unemployment. Then we have write short note on implications of Say's law, explain Keynes' theory in the form of flowchart. What do you mean by aggregate demand? Mention its components. And the last question is explain about aggregate supply with the help of diagram. So in the third chapter, we have 5 3-mark questions. Then coming to the fourth chapter, we have only 2 3-mark questions. Differentiate autonomous and induced investment. Mention the differences between accelerator and multiplier effect. So on the whole, you have 17 3-mark questions. Okay. So 2-mark questions, we had 21. 3-mark questions, we have only 17. Then coming to the 5-mark question, we just have 7 5-mark questions from chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. First chapter, if you take, there are only 2 questions. That is question number 37 in your textbook and 38. If you study this question, you will be able to answer this question. Because here we have the question as compare the feature among capitalism, socialism, and mixedism. But in this question, the first question, we have comparison between capitalism and socialism. So if you study this one, here we have 3 columns. Here you will have the answer only in 2 columns, capitalism and socialism. So I expect you to study this question first. If you study this question, you can easily answer question number 1. Then in chapter 2, we have 3 questions. Discuss the various methods of estimating the national income of a country. Describe the types of unemployment. Critically explain Say's law of market. Girls, I'm sorry. Under chapter 2, we have only 1 question. Discuss the various methods of estimating the national income of a country. So I repeat, from the first chapter, we have these 2 questions. Second chapter, we have only 1 question. So you can be very confident that this question and this question will surely be in your public exam question paper, because you have only 1 question in chapter 2 and 1 question in chapter 1. I say 1 question because if you study this question, you can automatically write this question. So don't miss this opportunity. Study these 2 questions thoroughly and you are assured of getting 10 marks fully in your public exam. Then in from the third chapter, you have only 2 questions. Describe the types of unemployment and critically explain Say's law of market. So if you study these 2 questions also, you can be sure that you will get at least 1 question or if there is luck, you will get both the questions also under 5 marks. Then from the fourth chapter, you have explained the operation of accelerator and what are the difference between MEC and MEI. So totally you have only 7 questions to study. So I'm sure it is very, very simple, girls, to prepare for the revision exam 1. What about the question pattern? The examination will be conducted for 3 hours and 15 minutes. That is the first 15 minutes for you to get ready with the answer sheet and then to go through the question paper. Apart from that, you have 3 hours to write your exam. So you have multiple choice question, that is choose the correct answer. You will have 20 questions and each question carries 1 mark. So 1 mark into 20 is 20. Next, answer in 1 or 2 sentences. Sometimes it can be even 3 sentences or 4 sentences, okay? 2 marks will be awarded for each answer. You have 7 questions to answer. So 2 into 7, 14 marks. Then answer in about a paragraph. For 3 marks, you have to write at least a paragraph. You have 7 questions to answer. That is for 21 marks. Then answer in 1 or 2 pages. You have, it is for 5 marks, and you have to write 7 questions. It is not 5, it is 7. I'll make a change here. So you have 7 questions to write. It is not 5, it is 7. So 5 into 7, 35 marks. So totally you will be writing for 90 marks. And as you already know, 10 marks is for internals. So when you write the one word, try to finish it within 10 minutes. So you can take 10 minutes for answering the one word. Then you can take 30 minutes to answer the 2 mark question, 45 minutes to answer the 3 mark question, and 90 minutes to answer the 5 mark question. Then you will have 5 minutes to go through all your answers, to underline, and for all that you get 5 marks. So totally we have 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. So here you will have only 20 questions and you are expected to answer all. In this part, you will be given 10 questions. Out of 10, you are expected to answer 7. Again, in 3 marks, you will have 20 questions, 10, out of which you are expected to answer 7. All these 2 will be open choice. That is, you can pick any question and you can write the answer. But question number 30 is compulsory. Under 2 marks, question number 30 is compulsory. Under 3 marks, question number 40 is compulsory. அதாவது நீங்கள் 30 கண்டிப்பாக எழுதணும், 40 கண்டிப்பாக எழுதணும். இது தவிர்த்து 6 கேள்வி இங்கே எடுத்துக்கலாம், இங்கேயும் 6 கொஸ்டின் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஸோ மொத்தமாக யூ வில் கெட் 7 கொஸ்டின்ஸ். 30th கண்டிப்பாக எழுதணும், 40th கொஸ்டினும் கண்டிப்பாக எழுதணும். அது தவிர்த்து இங்கே 6, அது தவிர்த்து இங்கே 6. இது எழுதும் போது இட் வில் பி எய்தர் ஆர். Okay. It starts from 41 A and B. So you can either write A or you can write B. Likewise, 42nd question you will have A and B. You can either write A or B. So here the choice is between 2 questions, A and B. இங்கெல்லாம் ஓப்பன் சாய்ஸாக இருக்கும். 10 கேள்வி கொடுத்துட்டு ஏதாவது 7, ஆனால் கண்டிப்பாக 30 எழுதணும். இங்கேயும் 10 கொடுத்துட்டு ஏதாவது 7, ஆனால் 40வது கேள்வி கண்டிப்பாக எழுதணும். இங்கே வந்து ஏ அல்லது பி ஏதாவது ஒன்று எடுக்கலாம். 42ல் ஏ அல்லது பி, 41ல் ஏ அல்லது பி, 43 லைக் தட் யூ வில் ஹாவ் 7 questions. ஓகே, 5 marks into 7 you get 35. ஸோ இப்படி நீங்கள் பண்ணிங்கன்னா உங்கள் எக்ஸாமை கரெக்டு டைமுக்கு முடிச்சிடலாம். ஸோ யூ கெட் 10 minutes to write the 1 mark, 30 minutes to write the 2 marks, 45 minutes to write the 3 marks, and 90 minutes to write the 5 marks. 90 minutes என்னது 1.5 மணி நேரம். சரியா? இங்கே வந்து ஒரு 3/4 மணி நேரம். இந்த ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் சேர்த்து ஒரு 40 நிமிஷம். ஸோ 2 hours and 55 minutes எழுதி முடிச்சுட்டு 5 மினிட்ஸில் நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணலாம், கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் ஆன்சர் எல்லாம் எழுதியிருக்கீங்களா, கோடு போடுறது இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஓகே, ஆல் தி வெரி பெஸ்ட் கேர்ள்ஸ். ஹோப் திஸ் video was useful for you. So in this, I've given all the 2 marks questions, 3 marks questions, and 5 mark questions. I also gave you the tip for preparing for your examination and the question paper pattern. Thank you, girls.